What if I told you that a city built 5,000 years ago had better plumbing than many cities today? Imagine walking through a Bronze Age neighborhood where every home had a private bathroom, where wastewater disappeared through carefully engineered drains, and where streets were designed around sanitation rather than status. This was not ancient Rome. It was not Greece, and it was built long before the pyramids were even a thought. Welcome to Mohenjo-Daro, one of the great cities of the Indus Valley Civilization. Today, we are uncovering the Indus Valley plumbing secret, an engineering achievement so advanced that historians still debate how it was possible. And the strangest part, after this civilization vanished, much of the world would spend nearly 2,000 years rediscovering what the Indus people had already mastered. Watch to the end of this video to discover the Indus Valley plumbing secrets. Welcome to Haunting Mysteries and Unsolved Murders. The forgotten blueprint of urban perfection. To understand the mystery, we need to travel back to around 2500 BCE. While most ancient settlements grew organically, winding alleys, crowded houses, and little planning, Mohenjo-Daro looked astonishingly modern. The city was laid out on a precise grid. Streets intersected at near right angles. Residential blocks were standardized. Buildings were constructed with remarkably uniform baked bricks. But the real shock was hidden inside the homes. Archaeologists discovered that house after house contained a dedicated bathing area. Many had latrines connected to drainage systems. Water flowed through channels built into the walls and floors. Think about that for a moment. In much of the ancient world, sanitation was a luxury reserved for elites, if it existed at all. Yet in Mohenjo-Daro, even modest homes appear to have had access to private washing facilities. This suggests something revolutionary. The city was designed with public health as a priority. Not palaces, not monuments, not royal tombs, clean water and waste management. And that raises a profound question. Why was a Bronze Age civilization investing so heavily in sanitation when much of the rest of humanity was not? The physics of ancient hydraulic mastery. The answer lies in engineering. Indus builders did not simply dig ditches. They created a hydraulic system. Excavations have revealed networks of terracotta pipes and covered drains running beneath streets. Many of these pipes were manufactured with carefully controlled dimensions and tapered joints that helped maintain steady flow. Engineers today would recognize the principle immediately. When water moves through a properly graded channel, gravity does much of the work for free. The Indus people understood this intuitively. Street drains were constructed with consistent slopes so wastewater could travel away from homes without the need for pumps. Inspection points and settling chambers appear to have reduced the buildup of sediment. Some drains were covered with removable brick slabs, allowing maintenance crews to access the system when necessary. In other words, they were not just moving water. They were designing for long-term maintenance. One of the most remarkable materials they used was bitumen, a natural waterproofing substance. In major structures, including bathing facilities, bitumen helped seal surfaces against leakage. That is extraordinary. Thousands of years before modern synthetic membranes, Indus engineers were already solving the problem of waterproof infrastructure. And they did it with Bronze Age technology. At the center of Mohenjo-Daro stands one of the most famous structures of the ancient world, the Great Bath. For decades, many scholars viewed it primarily as a ritual site. It is a large rectangular pool lined with finely fitted bricks and waterproofed with bitumen. But another interpretation is gaining attention. What if the Great Bath was also a piece of public health infrastructure? The structure includes carefully designed inlets and outlets that allowed water to be filled, drained, and replaced. The surrounding rooms may have supported organized bathing practices. Whether religious, civic, or both, the engineering is undeniable. And here is what makes the Indus Valley truly unusual. Archaeologists have found no clear evidence of massive royal palaces dominating the city. No giant statues proclaiming the glory of a king. No monumental tombs comparable to those of Egypt. Instead, the most impressive investments appear to have gone into shared infrastructure, water, drainage, streets, and public facilities. It is as if the civilization believed that the health of the city mattered more than the vanity of a ruler. That idea feels surprisingly modern. This absence of obvious royal power has led some researchers to describe the Indus world as unusually egalitarian. Now, we should be careful. Ancient societies were rarely completely equal. But the archaeological record suggests a different distribution of resources than we see in many other Bronze Age civilizations. Standardized brick sizes appear across vast distances. Urban planning is remarkably consistent. Sanitation reaches ordinary households. Imagine the level of coordination required. Someone had to establish construction standards. Someone had to maintain drains. Someone had to manage water. Yet the evidence points toward a system focused on collective utility rather than spectacular displays of individual power. Modern urban planners often talk about resilient cities, public health infrastructure, and equitable access to services. The Indus Valley may have been practicing versions of those ideas nearly 5 millennia ago. And then, the civilization disappeared. By around 1900 BCE, major Indus cities began to decline. Trade networks weakened. Urban populations shrank. The great drainage systems fell out of use. Why? That remains one of archaeology's greatest mysteries. Possible explanations include shifts in river systems, long-term drought, climate change, economic disruption, gradual migration and decentralization. Notice what is missing from that list: a single dramatic conquest. The evidence increasingly suggests a complex, gradual transformation rather than a sudden apocalyptic collapse. But the real puzzle is not just that the cities faded. It is that their plumbing knowledge did not spread widely enough to survive intact. After the decline of the Indus Valley, many regions of the world would experience sanitation standards that were, in some respects, less sophisticated. Humanity had discovered an advanced urban solution, and then largely forgot it. Think about the timeline. 2500 BCE, Mohenjo-Daro operates extensive urban drainage. 1900 BCE, Indus cities decline. Centuries later, many societies still rely on far simpler waste systems. Industrial era, modern sewer engineering is reinvented on a massive scale. It is almost as if a chapter of engineering history went missing. Imagine if a future civilization lost all knowledge of electricity and had to rediscover it from scratch. That is the scale of the historical gap we are looking at. The Indus Valley reminds us that technological progress is not a straight line. Knowledge can be lost, systems can collapse, civilizations can forget what earlier civilizations knew. Why this matters today? Now here is the uncomfortable part. Many modern cities are struggling with flooding, aging sewers, water shortages, and infrastructure failures. Our systems are often highly centralized. When a major pipe fails, millions can be affected. The Indus approach appears to have been more decentralized. Water management occurred at the household, neighborhood, and city levels simultaneously. That kind of distributed resilience is suddenly attracting attention again. Urban designers now talk about local stormwater capture, permeable surfaces, neighborhood-scale drainage, water recycling, climate-adaptive infrastructure. In a strange twist, some of our most advanced, smart city ideas are beginning to resemble principles the Indus people were already using thousands of years ago. They built with gravity instead of energy-intensive pumping. They integrated drainage into the fabric of the city. They treated sanitation as a universal necessity, not a luxury. And they designed infrastructure to be maintained. Those are lessons that remain profoundly relevant. The secret beneath the streets. So what is the Indus Valley plumbing secret? It is not a lost machine. It is not alien technology. It is something both simpler and more astonishing. A civilization understood that the true foundation of a great city is not its monuments, but its infrastructure. 5,000 years ago, the people of Mohenjo-Daro invested in clean water, drainage, maintenance, and public health on a scale that still impresses engineers today. They proved that advanced urban living is not measured by how tall your buildings are, but by how well your city protects the people who live inside it. And perhaps that is why their ruins continue to haunt us. Beneath the baked bricks and buried drains lies a question aimed directly at the modern world. If a Bronze Age civilization could build cities around sanitation, resilience, and shared well-being, why are so many of our cities still struggling to do the same? The next time you turn on a tap or flush a toilet, remember this. You may be using technology that feels modern, but the dream of a clean, connected, healthy city was already flowing beneath the streets of the Indus Valley 5,000 years ago. And we are only now beginning to appreciate how far ahead they truly were. The greatest secret of the Indus Valley wasn't hidden in a palace, because there were no grand palaces. It wasn't buried inside a king's tomb, because no mighty rulers left monuments behind. Its greatest achievement lay beneath the streets, in the silent network of pipes, drains, wells, and brick-lined channels that kept an entire civilization clean, healthy, and remarkably advanced more than 5,000 years ago. Long before modern plumbing, long before Rome, the engineers of Mohenjo-Daro understood a simple truth. A great civilization is built from the ground up, not from monuments, but from infrastructure that serves everyone. Their cities eventually fell silent, but their ideas continue to inspire archaeologists, engineers, architects, and historians around the world. Perhaps the greatest mystery isn't how they built such an incredible hydraulic system. It's why humanity forgot it for so long. If you enjoyed uncovering the forgotten engineering wonders of the ancient world, you're going to love what's coming next. Subscribe now and join us as we investigate the world's greatest archaeological mysteries, lost civilizations, unexplained discoveries, and the incredible technologies our ancestors left behind. Leave a comment below and tell us, what do you think caused the decline of the Indus Valley Civilization? Climate change, shifting rivers, economic collapse, or is there another explanation we haven't discovered yet? If you found this documentary fascinating, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who loves history, archaeology, or ancient engineering. It really helps the channel grow.